Crossroads with 3 sessions.
Well, kind of. It was interesting. Well, yeah, I've kind of half prepped / not prepped for this because I don't really know which way we're going to go. But for Jono's sake, I feel like you've watched it, but
yeah, I watched
on
it.
the way to
Molotov,
thanks to the Dragon
Molotov
Buddy.
MVP on that though, like just tanked so many hits.
Big Mole.
Barely nearly did, but that's fine.
Like
as a
let you tank the blue dragon. Like, that's pretty good.
It was a baby blue dragon.
That's a young blue dragon. It's a dragon still.
Actually, yeah, there is another level, isn't there? Wormlings, isn't that the one beforehand? Yeah. Although they can't do shit really. Like that's just a monstrosity that is blue. They don't have a breath weapon. They can't fly. They But anyways, as a random encounter, a rogue young blue dragon got a bit greedy with feeding off some lightning rail energy, derailed the train. Had a great combat, some really cool moves. What was that, Michael? What was that look for?
Sorry, my internet keeps dropping in and out.
Ah, okay. And then, bit of destruction, bit of distraught passengers, 2 pilots or conductors, whatever they're called, drivers, dead. And Ghost used his absorb elements to retract the train, get it moving at a phenomenal speed, before slowing it down into the city of Wroat, arriving at Station Row down here. Now, the thing to note would be that this tiefling, almost kind of clad in a leather trench coat and had a tome in his hand, almost for recording, a magic pen, noting things down, apologized profusely to everyone on board and addressed the first-class passengers first, saying that obviously these incidents don't happen all the time. They are willing to put everyone up for one night's rest at the Wayfarer's Rest, and handed out tokens for free accommodation to everyone. I believe they checked the tickets from Puck and saw everyone there, but didn't ask too many questions as they continued down the platform. You did see that on the station there were the city guard, or the city watch. Jalug, you would see and notice that these uniforms are definitely repurposed from the war. You kind of get that sense of, like the city watch might have been a division that have now been repurposed. They all wear the same uniforms. They all kind of have that same look about them, that they have followed that command structure. But yeah, as the tiefling who did introduce himself, I believe, as CMO. Jurian Lainan. Jurian Lainan. There again. We left early morning with a lot of the city guard attending to this broken lightning rail, but other than that, the city is waking up. And you guys are left on the platform. So what's the plan of action?
Well, we still need to get to the Mournlands. I think we probably did the maths on the train of how long Callie will take to get there. I think you said it was like 2.5 days, which is like from when we started.
Three and a half.
3.5 days.
3.5 with not stopping. Yeah.
Like gas, like no stoppages and stuff like that.
Yeah. And doing what people don't do, which is flying directly into the Mournlands on a ship.
We also, I suppose, don't really know the time thing. Like if she hits the Mournland
Yeah.
Then suddenly time is going to be working slightly differently for both of us.
Yeah.
So we may have
and like
more
we
slash
don't.
less than we know.
Yeah, depending on whether or not it's like a kind of like a Feywild thing where it's sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, or if it's the same as it was when we went in, which in that case it was as soon as she hits there, she'll have a week for every hour that we spend, or whatever, like she'll have a long time.
Yeah.
To start getting up to mischief.
So I guess
When we were there,
using the knowledge
didn't we
you know.
spend like a day in there, but we were gone a week.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but then it was the other way around when yeah, okay, so it is just kind of wishy-washy because when what's his face went in there to see his Knoll friends, he was in there for like a week and then came back, but he was only gone for a day.
Okay, so it's just timey. It's just timey-wimey.
Yeah. It could be anything.
So I guess using that knowledge of going in there once before, what are the characters thinking? Let's you're standing on the platform now. Are you going to have these conversations out in the open, or you're a bit beaten up as well?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Molokov's definitely screwing bits of armor back to himself, and
okay, yeah. You do get a few looks of, these normal civilians, people going off to work in the morning. You can tell that Wroat is not as big and bustling as Shan, but it still is very much a, there's bankers here and politicians and accountants rather than adventurers and, larger than life kind of.
It's not a tourist city.
It's not a tourist city, no, but it is in between. The rest of Khorvaire and Shan. It's definitely not a remote town.
It's the capital of
like
Brayland. It's a big city, but it's
yeah.
not Shan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the options we discussed was trying to get on a skyship. I think we discussed our options as either trying to take a train as close as we can go, or trying to take a skyship as close as they'll take us, whether we are the only customers or we're jumping on something that's going close. Any other, and then we always can fall back on the horn, but any other ideas? Reese, it might be helpful if we could have the world map up for a moment, just to have a look at that. Anyone else?
The D&D player in me really wants to explore that city, but
yeah.
In another lifetime, maybe.
Oh yeah, there's some cool shit in the city for sure.
Yeah, I
but
think you're right that an airship will be probably faster. There was
can we afford one though?
To teleport to your hometown, Gatherhold, and then even then, a train / airship from there might be faster.
I think we said that the airship, we might be able to get something to take us along the lightning rail down to there.
Yeah.
But normally they don't go that way because you can't take the train into the thing. So there's nothing particularly there. But we might be able to get something that gets us there.
There might be a small town or something like Vatheron that the train will end at.
Yeah.
Is it
because the next?
Is it possible after? Is it possible after, like, at the end of the train, that you can get, like the old school, like, train things that are up and down? Is it possible we can get one of those and just take that into the Mournlands? Like, do they exist?
I mean, yeah, they for sure exist when they were building the tracks, and whether one will be sitting there ready for you, or whether you might need to make one, buy one, or create one.
I'm just thinking, like, no, like. Yeah, let's say we can go a little bit further, but like no one's going to take, like, the amount of money we'd have to pay to get an airship that's willing to go into the Mournlands, unless we do what Keeling does, just like steal one.
I think I think there's no way at the very best, and the airship's going to get us to the borders
To the
of
edge.
the Mournland.
Yeah.
Like
Get us to like
I don't think we're ever.
Gorgonhorn or whatever.
Yeah, we're not convincing someone to fly through the mist. I don't think.
I guess
Sorry.
I was just going to say, Jalug, you know, and you guys also know from being on the border of it, by Kenran, is Dargoon. This kind of region is very much your orcs and goblins and hobgoblins, and it's very nomadic tribes and moving caravans and stuff like that. Like this, they do have these cities and settlements, but like and that doesn't mean that it's an evil place. Orcs and hobgoblins and stuff are part of society, but this is kind of where they all come from. And reign a bit more supreme there.
So I think the thing someone said before
Goblin
is
power.
potentially trying to get a teleportation to Gatherhold, because that was another thing we thought we might be able to do. Is like that's a major city to a major city. We might be able to get a teleportation to Gatherhold and then try and like Jono said, make a cart or get a cart that'll take us somewhat close. And then make the rest of the trek down to making on foot. I think at some point we're going to have to walk. There's no way short of mutinying a ship. And even then, we don't know how to crew it. And they'll probably just like straight up reject flying over the Mournland because no one does it anyway. Somehow we're going to have to walk. So our options are try and get us an airship that'll take us to Gorgonhorn, try and get teleported to Gatherhold, and then drive down southwest and walk,
or a train to Vatheron,
or take a train through Star Alaska, which is probably a bit risky.
Yeah,
to Vatheron and then walk, which is an incredibly long.
That's the problem. Yeah,
it is a big walk.
Because, like, to be fair though, like the Vatheron option would be my vote if it weren't for Star Alaska. Like, because obviously the lightning rail is the fastest way, and then.
That's where House Durasco is from.
That's where Durasco is, yeah.
Where this division is like led from.
Yeah. Let's say Puck's vote is for teleporting to Gatherhold, his like ancestral homes, and then trying to go south from there. And other than that, it's the airship, trying to take the airship across to Gorgonhorn. Like that, and then walk in from there.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the idea of us going through Star Alaska at all. He thinks that's really risky.
No, I think that's off. I think that should be ruled out.
Where in the Mournland are we trying to get to?
Trying to get to this city here called Making. It's the capital city of. Well, that's where we think. We don't actually have like an absolute definite. This is the right spot, but that's the capital from before it was all messed up by the cataclysm.
That's where
it's where goes. Yes,
it's where.
And it's where, and through visions and all that sort of thing, we kind of have a good.
We know it's at least
a better than not guess that Making the old capital of Sire is where we want to be, or is where the center of all of this is.
I suppose if
it's really hard because
it's the most likely place which set off what happened. Because if it's where all the big
makes more sense.
Would have been being made in the war,
and like being that whatever this glass plateau feels like an epicenter to me. You know, like
it feels like a big tear in reality.
Yeah.
So it's an educated guess.
Yeah. I think. Molokov's vote, he's not happy about it, but I think if we've sort of been discussing this, every time we suggest like an airship from now, I think we can't afford it. Either we can't afford it or we give up like a lot of worldly positions to do so. And then even so, we've still got to walk. Yeah. We go, like...
Yeah, Hera puts her hand in her pocket and rubs her 2 silver pieces together.
Yeah. And I think...
Some of us have money, though. Some of us still have a little bit of money.
I know. But I think Molokov as well is worried about going to your hometown. I know it's your house and all of that, but I think he's had enough of houses, and that's no shade on what is it?
Galanda.
Galanda. I think that's more just his personal. He's just been fucked over so many times now, and it's all. So I think Molokov's vote is spend the day preparing in this city to blow the horn in the morning after a long rest.
I mean, we still have to explore what we even can do anyway. Like,
absolutely, and exactly. So I think for the day, I think it would be see maybe if we can get an airship, and then I guess that's what we do. We maybe split the party, check one group checks for whether or not we can get us a circle. The other group checks prices on an airship.
Yeah, I still think it's worth, because at the moment we're just looking at the things that we want to do. I think you're right. We should spend the day and then rest this evening, but we should still check what options are actually available. Like if we can teleport to get hold.
Yeah,
I quite like the idea of teleporting there, just because I know it's almost the opposite. You're sick of the houses, but there's a house there that we have a foot in with Puck. So
we also don't have any friends, and we're going up against something massive, right?
Absolutely. And I'm not. I'm only saying for the sake of where Molokov's at. I'm not trying to stop any.
No. I definitely get Molokov's vibe with the houses.
Yeah. Because absolutely, he'll follow the team if that's what we want to do.
All right, so it feels like we'll explore those two options, and we'll have the horn as those aren't really going to work for us or don't work in a timeline that works for us.
Yeah,
let's do it. So I actually think we split in three.
I guess the other option, of course, like because both of those are big options. Like, can we get a teleportation to like the other side of the world? Yeah, cool. If we can, that's sick. Can we get can we get an airship or a lightning rail that'll get us to Vatheron, or like lightning rail to Vatheron, or an airship that kind of just goes straight across? Then at that point, all we are is we're on the edge of the Mournland, and it's like, what do you do? So Jalug at that point would be like, well, he would talk about Dargloon and the hobgoblins, and so he let you know that like a lot of those border towns along the hobgoblin area are like very frontier, and they are it's the classic, Boromir at the council there on like, by the blood of my people are your lands kept safe, and he's like, those people all along there, they, like, you guys don't know, they are still fighting. They're constantly protecting against incursions from the Mournlands, and they also, that's like a launch point for adventurers heading into the Mournlands. So in terms of like, do we have an idea of what, like, once we're there, what to actually do? Like, hey, we're on the edge of the Mournlands, the skyship's dropped us off and we're standing there waiting. Like, that's great end of season cliffhanger. But like, these other places are in some way, they're not fancy cities, but in some way they are equipped with, hey, here's the thing when we go in, like, you're an idiot if you go into the Mournlands, but if you do, here's the equipment you need. Here's like some kind of a map. Like, it's not accurate, but
I like that.
And whilst it's not as powerful as like, here's a house that could be our ally. Like, and I'm not trying to say Jalug's like some hidden, secret noble general kind of thing, but like, he does have an in that capacity. So that's more of the others are like cool big more fancy ways of doing it. That's like just the really basic one. That doesn't mean that we should do that. That's a legitimate other option would be to head into there to one of those borderlands like Gorgonhorn.
I feel like Jalug would come at it from a very utility point of view.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Malikov?
Oh, you go.
All I was going to say is just on that, in terms of potentially getting to whichever border and having to make a trek. Where is Swiftscale? Is Swiftscale with us?
He's in the ring.
Abandoned Swiftscale.
He's in his little Pokeball.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. We got a Pokeball.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's very, very
cool. I was thinking is potentially getting mounts for the rest of us, because obviously you've got a mount. Ghost has a mount, and potentially or some form of vehicle. Being that we're.
I think we could do that at Gatherhold. And we could possibly do that at one of these border towns. The other thing I was thinking, I don't think it'll work in terms of timing, but if we can teleport, here. Oh, hello. It's going to give me a filled-in center, is it? That's definitely what I wanted. Thank you. Fantastic. And then we can take the river boats, get out into the open sea for a moment. And I believe there's a river along here. Get off here and walk into Making. I'm pretty sure there's a river there.
Yeah, that's still a long ass trip.
But that's the problem. Is I think that would just take too long to do. I think that would take us the best part of a month.
Not to mention, yeah.
And our enemy is moving as fast as is possible without teleporting. So,
I think
I would say airship would be faster than sea ship as well.
I think so. In terms of those border towns that Jono or Jalug, I guess, is talking about, does that include Gorgonhorn? Because that's the one we've been talking about, but I can't tell. That sounds very orcish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing to say, and again, it depends what we're wanting to do, is like the Goblin Nation. It's like it's built on armies, and it's still fighting. And it's full of, like, I was a mercenary. It's full of mercenary things. If we need if we need allies that are going to be our allies, as long as we have coin, we can get allies there. But it's like
have a lot of coin.
Yeah, but there's a few days travel. We can do stuff on the way. But it's like, how would you choose to get there? Like, is there along the lightning rail? There's other stops before Star-Alaska, between Wroat and Star-Alaska, is there, or is it just literally there's no other stops between there?
There would be unnamed towns, that you'd probably pass through a couple of kind of like what are they called, hamlets and stuff like that.
That the rail
would it stop
at?
I would say like
because it's a long way between it otherwise.
Yeah,
called the little thing.
Stop here, please.
We should go to Dragon's Crown, see if we can meet our friend.
Assuming that Onus and Shapiro aren't on the next lightning rail that comes through here.
Yeah.
Could very well be.
I think all this strategizing is good, but I reckon we've got the next steps, which is go and see if we can get a skyship, go and see if we can get a teleport, and that answers the questions like, are we able to take a teleport to somewhere in Dargoon, or are we going to take one to Gatherhold, because that kind of answers our question. Maybe we can't even afford to hire a skyship because it might be way out of our price range. In terms of money, I've got 750 gold.
750?
Yeah. Also...
$7.50.
So I've got about 750.
I think that we should split...
I also have about $7.
I think we should split 3 ways, and I think that one person goes and looks out and tries to find all the potions they can find, that kind of thing. Like, the things that we're going to need, because regardless of if we teleport in, regardless of if we fly to the edge and walk in, the being prepared once we're there doesn't change, and this is our opportunity to stock up. So I feel like 2 people go look at the skyship, 2 people go look at the teleport, and one person just goes, probably doesn't buy anything yet, but goes to look at, okay, where are the potions? And what's available, so that once we all get back together in a couple of hours, we can have that discussion, and then we can go buy the stuff if we need to, or if we can afford to, if we're still going to have money to do that, and then head off.
Yeah,
because I think you're right. They're probably on the next train out. There you go. So we got a little bit of money.
Should we
Yes, mate.
potentially split it?
We blow
Should we
a horn,
split it
right?
4 ways to have someone watching the sky? Like, I know this sounds crazy, but like theoretically, we're safe in the city. Like, should we have someone waiting nearby, sitting in a cafe, just slowly drinking a coffee or whatever, watching the train arrive and stuff?
What Hero wants to do right now.
In 8 hours time.
Yeah,
A cigarette.
you could buy a newspaper. You could cut holes in it.
You could give a
I
small
might not
child.
need to buy a newspaper. How much is a newspaper?
You could give a small child 10 gold and
Like a
say,
copper.
"Hey, you stay here and be on the lookout for the rest. You know, for someone who matches this
gold.
description. And if you find them, you're going to run and tell me, and I'll be here."
You give a small child 10 gold, you're never seeing 10 gold again.
Yeah. Fuck me.
I know
That's
exactly what I
gone.
would have done with 10 gold.
Yeah, they're going to buy so many lollies. They're going to be just sugar high.
Oh.
Puck will go.
Immediately.
Puck will go to the teleportation circle, and I think he would ask if Hera was willing to come with him to work out where it is, and just because she knows magic, and he doesn't really know a lot about magic.
Should we say then the 2 engineers go look for sky ships, and then we have Jalug out in the town.
Hell yeah. You're going to get like so many potions that are just colored water. And I love it.
It's just alcohol.
I'm not buying it. Guys, I got these magic beans. Seriously.
I just sold our last cow,
Which
but
I'm pretty sure is an actual magic item in 5e.
Oh,
That,
yeah,
like,
it is.
I think it is,
they're
yeah.
actually-
Bag
you
of
could
magic
legitimately
we had
beans.
buy
some last
magic beans.
campaign.
Right.
They were.
I thought you were going to say, Jono, that you'd buy like a potion. Guys, it's called Hair of the Dog. The guy said it's really good at kind of just really, getting you going.
I feel great.
Getting you back on your feet.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
why don't
I'll do that. That's a good idea.
why don't we all roll initiative? And see which order we're going to do this in.
And Mama Dragon,
an
in
adult blue
fact.
dragon.
When we're not
Oh.
exhausted or anything, you said we got at least a short rest
A
on
short
that
rest.
trip.
Yeah.
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 That's a 17 for me.
2 for me.
I got an
You're 6.
18. Not to one up.
Just go ahead and mute yourself.
Hero?
17 as well.
Nice.
Oh.
And Ghost?
6.
Dogs? Okay. So
I have one
Puck.
final crazy idea, but I
Oh,
feel
yeah, go
like
for
it's
it.
more roleplay. Fucking, I don't know.
Well, before everyone
Yeah,
disbands, the
like-
group is still together, so do it in Ghost.
It's just one of those crazy fucking. We don't really fucking know what's going on in making, right? We assume that we just have to get there. We're coming up with all these ways to get there. We still have no freaking clue what's going on.
Mhm.
All we know is that we have the thing that both factions wanted. Emerald Claw is off to do their thing, so it seems, and Jurassico wants to stop them. What if we just make a deal with Josu? And the
No.
minute he tells us what we need to know and what the plans are on the other side, because he's going to know we can blow a horn and be there.
Puck's not into it. You put
know
Puck in
Puck's
front of him, and he's probably going to try and kill him. So I don't know.
Cool.
I
What
hear
if
that.
we-
I do.
okay,
Because
It
player
starts
wise,
coming
I
out of Ghost's
agree.
mouth, you say something, and I'm like,
Also, just as a side note to that is we don't have to be in front of them. We have the sending stone.
True.
huh?
So, like,
Who has that?
I think
I think
here it
Ghost,
is.
Ghost or Hero?
Ah,
Wait. It's me. I've got it. No,
You've
it's
got it
Jared.
or I've got it? Okay.
oh, fuck it out.
Because I've still got your briefcase.
You do. It's not in my briefcase.
Okay.
Oh shit! All my shit's in there. Pat's pockets.
Yeah, before we go, I can give you anything you want out of it.
Yeah.
But
I think
you did spark
I will.
in your little preamble for that suggestion on Josu there. You did give me the idea of, fuck, I don't know how much we're going to potentially get in the city, but is it worth trying to do like finding an expert of any kind and seeing or even just a library and seeing if we can potentially dig up a fucking scrap of information about making, or
I mean,
the prophecy,
I think that's kind of why Puck's house, what is it? Gatherhold might not be such a bad idea, because they'll have registers of all of the houses of hospitality, the places of hospitality.
And
yeah, they probably have maps.
Yeah, and I think actually it's better trying to do that there than it is trying to do that in a random city where there might not even be anything.
Yeah. There's one other option I could lean on for trying to get an old map or something. And that would be at the pavilion of the host, but that's a stretch.
Why don't we go and do the things to find out how we're traveling, find out what time we'd be able to access those things, and then we know what time we've got to spare. Because it might be, hey, there's a ship leaving in an hour, or it might be, hey, the next teleportation circle window is in 2 days. We don't know.
Yeah.
Our wizard's out of town, or...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
So, you all look off in different ways, do a team high five or whatever you do.
Idiots on three.
And so Puck and Hero, you're both going together?
If she's willing?
Yeah, I'll come with Puck.
Alright, so you leave Station Row and you see that all the stores are starting to open. It's less like market squares and stuff around here and more actual establishments. So, you've got a bookshop, and then next to that is like a hat shop, and then a shoe shop, and so on and so forth, down these many rows of streets. But a lot of them, you gather, are businesses that don't sell anything. There's some person that runs all the accounting for the skyships, and that's not a shop you can just walk into. It's just they've got a name on the front, and if you've got an appointment, you can do that. You see a couple of medical ones, you see a couple of fruit stalls and food stalls, and so on and so forth. But my question to you two is, with any RP or not, where do you think is the best place for you to head?
I was just looking around the whole map, trying to work that out, to be fair.
Yeah. Now, these maps would have been up at the station as well. Like, you could have gotten a little pamphlet out of a side stand that's selling sandwiches or something like that gives a brief overview of Wroat as a city.
In a lot of ways, you wouldn't want one in the castle, because you don't want bad guys teleporting immediately into the castle.
Yeah. Because that was my initial thought, was, we're going to have to go to the castle, but, surely, like you say, they're not going to put the main teleportation thing in the middle of the castle. I
feel like maybe Parliament Wall might be the right place to start. But equally, we can just ask people. It's like it's a bit of a weird question, but it's not like the craziest thing to ask someone.
Yeah, it's not that weird.
Yeah, it's not, hey, where's the train station? That's a pretty easy one, but it isn't, hey, where can I buy the sword that I'll use to kill the king of the city? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not going to cause that many alarm bells. It's just going to be like, okay. It's like something like, where's the nearest magic shop? And you're like for cards or for like wizards? Anyway, I feel like that's probably the right place out of everything that we can see there.
Okay.
To go and ask
you make
that
your way
question
down to Parliament Wall, and you straight away you notice the change in architecture and even clothing that people are wearing. It's very much a lot more finer clothes here. People walk around maybe with their nose just a couple of degrees higher than everyone else. They have satchels with papers and books and stuff in them. but not the satchel like Hera carries. These are very ornate and very nicely made, almost like, they get a new one every season or something like that. Suits and coats and stuff, as people walk around, you do see that Parliament Wall isn't a wall of buildings, but what it is it's the main Grand Hall of Justice, which is that yellow building there, and you can probably gather that that's where big court dates happen and discussions between heads of houses or emissaries from other not continents, but like regions come and talk. But there are some few smaller houses and or buildings. People are moving around, and yeah, it's no one stands out in particular. You see a couple of like middle-aged ones like going for a run down at Lantern Reserve just in the morning jog. Kind of, it seems very pedestrian, very normal run of life, which is a bit of a weird thing to see.
I suppose that main building there looks like it's where most people of importance need to go. I assume if you're coming from out of town, you would want to put yourself right there.
Yeah, I think might be right. Let's go find. Maybe we can just ask a guard at the door.
Yeah, sure.
And you see them. There are some city watch. They're not at attention. They're kind of just milling around the front, normally in pairs.
Hi. Yes, down here.
Oh, yes. Good morning. Well, could be nicer, but well, I think the winters are going to start setting in soon. How may we be of assistance?
Looking for a teleport circle, actually. Wondering where we might find such a thing.
They kind of look at each other and look back. You must have some serious coin in your pocket if you're looking for a teleport circle. What business brings you here?
Looking for a teleport circle. Got some places we need to be, and people are waiting for us.
Looks back at each other. Oh, bit of attitude, this one. Well,
I feel like we were in the highfalutin part of town. I was like, okay,
yeah,
is that how it?
Yeah. Looks back and goes, well, I don't think that's been used in quite some time. Definitely is one at the Citadel, down the bottom of Broken Blade Castle, when he kind of points out this area here. Yes, Lord Boronel doesn't have many visitors via teleportation circle, but I've never used one myself. I suppose if you've got an audience with them, then you can ask to use it. But and you can tell that this guard clearly is a bit just assuming how it works.
Well, I can't say I'd recommend it. All out of sorts, but it is a very efficient way of getting around. Thank you very much.
Of course. If there's anything else we can do for you, please let us know.
Thank you. Come on, Hera. Let's go see the Citadel. I guess we start heading that way. Unless there's anything you want to do here.
No, but as we walk, I'll say, I wonder perhaps if we should try and get in contact with that Jurian. I know that they said they would put us up for the night and cover our damages as such, but perhaps it's worth changing that favor to something else and seeing if we can, maybe he can help us with this swaying of the Lord to let us use the circle.
We could try. He did seem a bit suspicious of us, but nothing. We haven't done anything, so we can find out. Yeah. Let's see the Citadel first and see what is required.
Yes. Okay.
You start making your way to the Citadel of Broken Blade Castle. As we switch over to Jalug, if he's there, otherwise Ghost.
I don't think he's here.
Oh, good. Ghost and Molokov. You see Hera and he is here.
Sorry, I was making a coffee.
All good, all good. We'll do Ghost and Molokov first.
Oh, sweet. I'll drink my coffee.
Yeah. Puck and Hera move off in that direction. You two left at the station with Jaluk still here as well. But whereabouts are you guys heading?
I buy one of those shitty black coffees in a paper takeaway cup from one of those little carts at the station.
Yep, it's a little Kenku that serves you and just repeats your order back to you. And then, as they can only mimic things, it asks for your name, but it does it in like different voices. It's like, hi, can I take a coffee order?
Do you want? Hi, can I take your coffee order?
Oh, hi, can I take your coffee order?
There we go. Hey, can I just get one black to go?
No worries. He turns around and goes and starts making it.
Cute. That's all. Oh, hey, do you want one?
Like back in Moloch. I've had enough jolts this morning. I think I'm good.
Oh, yeah, right.
Serves it up.
Thank you. How much?
It's like a couple of copper or something. No,
I got a couple. I'll give him a silver for it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
All right. So where are the artificers heading?
I guess we're
What was our job again?
we're looking for the skyships, which I believe you just see the port across the way there.
Yeah.
That's not right. Tool. That one.
Yeah, right.
You can tell that the mainly boats come through here, but there's like a second level up for skyships. If you want to head
Is there
straight there.
anything? Does it seem like there's anything docked there currently?
Oh, a couple smaller vessels. Nothing too extravagant or noteworthy. Mostly look like trading vessels. Maybe they go between Shan and here daily. A few that look like they could go a bit further, but
I think it's only shot for this side of the plan.
No.
Let's see how we get to this island.
Ooh. Ah, shit. Puck's got my bags. Never mind. I'm a navigator. Pretty damn good one. Not excellent, but I can do it.
By all means, lead the way.
it's easy enough to get to. It's pretty well signposted and stuff. And as you do get closer and you cross that bridge to Broken Blade Castle, the castle is a building that is fortified within a fortification here. So most people are allowed to walk around the outsides and stuff, obviously with all the trade and stuff happening as well. And you do walk past this citadel that Hera and Puck are heading to, and you do notice that this is very much where the City Watch will keep residence. It's where the Inquisitor that questioned you on the train would reside and stuff like that. It looks like it's a offshoot of the castle where they run all the operations from, whereas the castle itself is probably where the Lord and higher nobles reside. But walk past it and continue round to the shipyard. It's very much what you would expect. People are yelling. People are pulling crates off ships. People are loading stuff up. There's a barrel of fish that gets knocked over. It's a bit of a commotion, but almost organized chaos.
Yep, that's familiar.
So you said there's a couple airships.
Yep.
Airships sitting there, but then how big was the one compared to the one that we took on a straight journey from Starawaska to Kubara? Yep. How big are we looking? Are we talking like half the size, quarter of the size?
Yeah, I'd say like on a scale of 1 to 10, the one that you took to Star Alaska was a paid-for ship by Josu, probably sitting up around a 7. These are like 4s, mostly 3s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me an intelligence roll, Molotov.
Sure thing. Just straight intelligence.
Yes, please.
Oh, 17 on the dice, so plus 2 is 19.
Nice. So, yeah, the size of the ships are definitely smaller. As for speed, probably doesn't matter too much because up on the winds you can use the arcane energy and stuff. It would more be reliability and structural integrity. That's going to be that's what's going to decrease on these ships. You know, if they're cruising between here and Shan, sure, a couple of winds will be fine. But if you're going over mountains and stuff like that, then you might. Who's to say? You know, like people have done sailboats around the world.
Yeah. And I was more worried about like you mentioned refueling and things like that. Like I was, a smaller ship might have to take a couple stops, and
a smaller ship would definitely have a smaller elemental within it. So
that might not be able to handle long ass journey.
Right at the top of my brain, because now that I'm thinking about it, is there anywhere that I know of within that Star Alaska Vathron Kenrun section that actually has a skyport?
Star Alaska does.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
And I think as well, I'm just going to jump.
Dagoon,
the capital of Dagoon was Rukandral. Probably has a skyport.
Yeah, okay.
But you've never been there.
Yeah. Keep your eye out for a harbour master. They're normally walking around with a ledger of some sort. See if I can spot someone who looks like they're a harbour master of some sort.
Yeah, you see a gnome running around, purely just to keep up with everyone that he's bossing around and trying to get one ship out because another one's trying to come into that parking spot, and they're just running a minute behind. He's wearing like a mismatch of like 2 different coats and 3 different shirts as he's kind of like thrown on a uniform for this, changed to give authority on another one. You can tell that he's very diplomatic but aggressively so. As he turns around and bumps into you, Ghost, and what were you going?
Oh, apologies. I was trying to catch your attention, but not physically.
Well, you have it now, and and he like turns his wrist around, and you see he's got like 10 different watches on, and some are like tracking the sun, some are like tracking like the wind currents, some are tracking like the altitude and the air pressure and stuff like that. And but if you see all these widgets and watches kind of like, he pulls the cloak down and goes, well, you have about 2 minutes till I need to get to my next port.
Great, fantastic. That's all I need. My colleague here and I, we're looking to charter an airship, potentially, just to go east, as far east as possible from here. What are the chances?
Charter one. And what cargo are you traveling?
Just us.
Looks at you, looks at Molotov. It's going to cost you a pretty penny.
I'm also a competent navigator if someone's, looking for work.
Looks you up and down. This, you see, then he stops and pauses for a second. Competent navigator, you say? What's your experience?
Can I know what type of vessel?
I'm going to say yes, but I was waiting for him to unfreeze.
Can I remember what type of vessel we were on with Ernest?
Yeah, like it was definitely like a galleon kind of.
Yeah, like 80 foot?
Yeah.
Cool. Not to do my fair share of 80-foot galleons from anywhere from Star Alaska to Khorvaire.
Roll me a charisma check.
9. Nope, that's a lie. 6.
He looks you up and down and goes, yeah, and I've ridden dragons before. Look, if you're wanting to charter a ship, head on down to the... shoot, what's it called? He will give you the name of the... Head on down to Pegasus Spire. That's where you'll find all the captains. They usually drink their weight in alcohol down there, and one of them might be willing to take you as a passenger, but don't be telling people you can drive if you can't. It's dangerous out there.
It was a good experience, by the way. Where do we find that?
He points down. You see that there's like an old wooden carved Pegasus that's kind of like got a lot of moss on it now and a lot of like decay on it, and then you like look down at the door and the door's like off its hinges, and this is definitely a rougher establishment.
My kind of place. Fantastic. You're a scholar and a saint. I turn tail and just start walking.
All right, you start heading to the Pegasus Spire. As we come to Jaluk.
Yeah. So I guess everyone else is like they've started off, and because we're doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost goes off to get a coffee. I would like to look around. Are there a few like youngins like sort of just hanging around? I think that is a good idea.
Yeah.
Just to slip them, a couple of coin or whatever.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Perception. Been a while. 14.
14. Yeah, you take a look around and people are, a bit annoyed and distraught that this train has come in and they've stopped all the lines. Like they're kind of investigating this train that's all beaten up and scratched and got huge chunks out of it. But that also means that no trains are running out of the station at the moment. So people are starting to queue. The crowds are starting to get a bit larger and a bit larger. Like, and then when one bus is missed, then the next bus has like 20 people, and then the next bus, so now there's 40 people at the stop. But you do notice a small what's the race called, Harrian, like a little rabbit folk,
Cool.
just kind of moving around this crowd. And with that perception check, you see they kind of lean up against someone and slip out a gold coin and then carry on and fall over, and when they stand up they've actually taken the shoelaces out of someone's shoe, and you can just see there's 2 or 3 of them moving around this crowd. They're not taking swords and armor and stuff like that, but they eventually come closer and closer to you, and you see that one of them catches your attention and looks away and then kind of starts moving a little bit closer.
Yeah. I imagine that I know what's going on, and maybe as one of them comes close, I might just like the arm just out and but not like, literally just grabbing him, not looking at him, bring him and just pull him in closer.
Oh, sir,
Quiet. I need something from you.
From me? But I don't have anything, sir.
Stop. There's coin in it for you. All right.
As soon as you say that, he goes, "Go on, sir."
Yeah, just like it changes and
Yeah.
Just a simple watch and wait job. I see you got a couple of pals. So what I need is you to let me know if some people that might be coming off the next train coming in here, or the next 2 trains. Basically, it's a job for the day.
Job for the day? How much are we talking?
how much do you reckon it's worth for you to just sit here? You can keep doing your thing, but when I come back, you tell me stuff.
Well, you see his like little rabbit feet, like for me to
Yeah, like
stay
doing
still.
maths in the moment.
Yeah, me to stay still all day. Oh, that's gonna cost quite a bit of money, I think. Why don't we say 100 gold?
Yeah. So the
And
alternative.
you tell he like fully is trying it on here.
Yeah, and so I just tighten the grip that's on his arm a little bit. I said,
Sir,
the alternative is, and I just indicate over to like the station guards.
All right.
Let's be reasonable here. I might have just come off that train, but I didn't come off that train.
You weren't born yesterday is basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah. But like Jalub's not good at it, so he's heard people say that idea before, and he's like, okay,
I didn't come off that train yesterday. I came off it today. 100 gold, sir. Sorry, I miscalculated. What I meant was 10 gold for me and my friends.
What I need is you to discreet watch this train station, and then and I describe
that's what
Shapiro.
Yep.
Yeah, and also like I guess the Oryx, I guess, like anyone that's maybe like that, just because I'm not sure who might come.
Yep.
And so I say, if you see people like, if you've seen people like this, then you let me know. One of you follows them where they go. Don't be seen. And so there's like three of them, three of the kids. And I say, so I give him. I said, I'll give you 10 for the three of you. How about 2 each, and you get an extra 2. So that's 8 gold. You get 4, they get 2.
Deal.
Done. And Julie's thinking he's like absolutely nailed this. It's like, what a great deal. I've done this. It's only cost me 8 gold to get like some random street urchin to probably not do his job.
He holds out his hand.
Half now.
Of course, sir.
So I'll like, I would, rather than, I'm not pulling out the whole coin purse. Like he's not an idiot. Like I've got some. So, I give like, count out like, 4 gold. All right. I'll back periodically, thinking I'm sounding really fancy using a big word.
Yeah. We'll look out for you, sir. You'll find us.
Don't get caught.
No, never get caught.
And as he starts walking away, I just point back. I need to do some shopping. Where should I go?
He will point you to Station Row. Includes some shops, but Trade Fair Square is where most of the shops are.
So I'll do that. I'll leave down there. And so the idea is, if at the if I come back through there, I'll get their attention. They'll inform me a couple of times, whatever.
Yeah. So
4 gold.
Give me a D10 roll, please.
7.
So one of because you saw that the document I put in the Discord, that is our shopping document. And so anything on the urban that is available, you can probably find in the city.
I was trying to read it, going like, "Where's the urban heading?" Then I realized it's one of the columns. Yeah.
And all the costs will be normal costs.
Okay, cool.
So if you want to have a look through that for anything, and within reason, like this is going to be stuff that is, and the rest of you can look as well, like your blacksmith armory, your Fletcher, your leatherwork, general store, stuff like that. But obviously for arcane and religious stuff, you'd have to probably go to the the churches and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
whatever you think you'd normally find in the market squares or anything, but your role gave you one shop that would definitely catch your attention, which is called Roll and Conquer.
Roll and Conquer.
Yeah,
Ooh,
which
nice.
sells adventuring gear and some potions and
Awesome.
stuff along the way.
Yeah, and so okay, cool. I'll check it out, and then yeah, I don't know. Did I have anything I wanted to sell? Maybe I had something I wanted to sell. I can't remember.
But yeah, if you're on
Yeah.
shopping duty for the party,
Yeah, so I guess
again,
maybe people might have given me some stuff if they wanted to, but yeah, the thing I guess I would be interested in sell, like I don't need my somehow I've still got my greatsword, and which yeah, like it's cool because it's big and it's intimidating, and so it's
Yeah.
maybe worth just actually walking around with the massive sword, even though I never pull it out, which is
Sure.
even more intimidating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so if anyone had stuff that they wanted to sell, but yeah, I guess I'd scope out and see a few potions
Yep.
over the time. Yeah, like I don't know. If reading, is there a list of them, or should I just like do you want me to roll something? Because I think we weren't just talking like, oh, I want potions of healing. It's like there's maybe like random potion of one of those cool magic things that they've got in there. So
Yeah. So
you don't
magic,
have to have that fun.
yeah, magic potions have a cost to them. So I think have a look for any that you might want to stand out, because like there are a lot of potions
Yes.
in the game, and then we can see whether that's available. Maybe it's a roll or the cost, because they get quite expensive. I think like a rare potion is 2,500 gold.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll start with buying.
But in saying that,
Yeah.
you're in a city, and this is your chance to do a bit of restocking and stuff. So for sure, be checking that out.
Yep.
So I
Cool.
guess when you look through that, because on D&D Beyond as well, you can sort them by rarity under magic items, potions. Puck and Kiera, you arrive at the Citadel, which again is this big, hexagonal building. Got giant pillars on each side, and you can tell that this is definitely the place where the City Watch reside and do their operations out of. And outside the building, you do see the Tiefling Inquisitor that was at the station. And you see he's talking to a couple of guards and send them off on some duties. And you can tell that he's just had a morning of it. And closes his tome that he's holding, and it just takes a moment just to kind of almost just to himself before you can tell that he's about to go off on another errand.
I suppose we can ask.
Yeah, it seems now's the best chance to try and intercept him.
What was his name again, Reese?
Jurian Lynan.
Lynan?
Lynarin.
Yeah, okay. Excuse me. Thank you. Mr. Lynan.
It turns around. Inquisitor Lynan. He pauses and goes,
My apologies. Inquisitor.
You're the ones from the train.
Yes, we are. We were hoping to avail ourselves of the teleportation circle inside the Citadel. Is that something that we might be able to do?
He looks down through his spectacles. Teleportation circle. Wow. Where are you headed?
Well, as you might be able to tell from looking at me, I'm headed back home to Gatherhold.
Oh, quite the distance. Yes, I suppose that would be the fastest route. You'll have to excuse me. I'm definitely the bearer of bad news for you. Today of all days. Unfortunately, our wizard that normally operates it is a little bit predisposed at the moment. A day trip he is taken to Glyphstone Keep, just outside the city. seems to be some sort of, tussle and bustle with a creature of some sorts that's there. If you're willing to wait, I'm sure he'll be back sometime soon. Next couple of days or so.
Well, we'll have to discuss. But thank you for your help.
Of course. I know it would be... he'd be quite... what's the word I'm looking for? Thankful if you were to aid him in his endeavors. He gets a bit caught up in his work, you understand.
Oh, you mean go and help him finish up what he's doing?
Yes. You know what wizards can be like. Get obsessed with their work, and like I said, I don't know how long he's going to spend there, but if you were requiring his services, it seems like you need a bit of urgency. Well, I'm not going to convince him to come back. I've got too much to do, you understand?
Yes. At Cliffstone Peak, keep you say. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time. We won't hold you, Inquisitor.
He points out that it's about half a day's travel from the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's very helpful. I suppose.
Yeah.
We'll see how.
He says as well, you do understand that there is a price involved as well. Not the mere squabble of the streets can go and use such arcane prowess.
Of course. We'd expect no less.
Right. Well, if there's nothing else, I do have a lot to do. He kind of like looks down at his tome.
Yes, I already said thank you, and we don't want to hold you, so please go about your business.
And closes it and kind of like just turns away and walks off without saying goodbye.
Yeah, Puck's going to roll his eyes as he turns around to Hera.
Sure.
Yeah. Not what I like. I know the type. Well, I suppose that's at least a little bit of confirmation. There is a portal at a circle that we can use. It's just a matter of time frames and whether we can help this wizard with his task, with this creature, he said, such as out of the city. But I suppose we see what the others say, how they got on, what their time frames and prices are. I definitely need a sleep before I'm helping anybody, though.
Yes, unfortunately, that's not a great result. Potentially, if we go and help him, he might give us some kind of discount, but I don't like our chances. I don't think this is probably going to end up being how we do it, but we'll take it to the group. We didn't actually say it, but I assume we talked about where we might meet up again.
Sure. Well, you have chips for free accommodation in one of the places in Wayfarer's Rest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I assume we'll be meeting at the tavern that we've been allocated for.
So you haven't been allocated a tavern. Basically, the gold chips were saying that one of those places will put you up for free. This is a token from the Lord.
Okay.
That'll get you there. But also there is definitely a gather hold place. You would know it as the Gold and White. Puck. That is
Light?
The Gold and White.
Gold and White.
It's
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like the city's colours.
Cool. Yep.
But there are definitely other places as well. More fancier ones, more cheaper ones.
White, it's blue and black.
Yeah, I guess we'll try and head there then. Go to that one.
Okay.
Hera, how about we try and take save ourselves a long walk and try and take a ferry across from the port over there. I'm suggesting we head over to near where the two artificers went and take a little ferry to like cross over, near to like the Temple of the Silver Flame or something. Pay a couple of silver for that.
You walk past a very run-down Pegasus spire and roll your eyes at how anyone can upkeep such an establishment as you guys walk to the ferry and the camera kind of pans in to Molokov and goes standing in the doorway of this place, and it is exactly what you think of as a sailor's inn. There are tables kind of on a lean. There are coasters under the legs to keep them from wobbling too much. There's a a band of halflings in the corner with like wind up lutes and stuff like that. And it's in the morning, so the music's a little bit slower, but the alcohol is still pouring quite frivolously from the night before.
I believe that's a hurdy-gurdy.
A hurdy-gurdy, that's the word I was looking for.
One of the most fun instruments in the world.
Yeah.
Hurdy-gurdy on an automatic winder is wild.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Cognitively, I'm kind of checking out a little bit, so I'm a bit
good.
all over the place at the moment. First thing.
Both give me perception checks. How about that?
Oh, there we go.
Sounds good.
16.
Terrible. 6.
16. So Ghost, you see there's a couple of tables with crews, and obviously ones that have had a bit too much and stuff like that. But you do see off in the corner, not a hooded figure in a tavern to avoid that trope, but there is an orc that's sitting in the corner, kind of just has like a tiny little espresso shot kind of mug. It seems to be about his wits. Kind of big furrowed brow and 2 tusks that come out from his jaw as he kind of just sips on this coffee and notices you standing in the doorway and just gives a tip of his hat. He's got like a cheese cutter hat on.
Swear to God, if this is I can't even think of the word. No, it doesn't matter. I'll first walk up to the bar.
Yep.
Or wherever drinks are poured. Excuse me, morning.
You see another auto gnome rotate round with the hanging thing to the top so it can rotate around the bar. It goes, how can I help you?
Balls, one of these. I'm looking for a captain. We're trying to charter a vessel. Anyone you'd recommend?
I can recommend the Coca-Cola. I can recommend the. He like starts listing off like a bunch of drinks. We don't have any named as the captain. Actually, we have the captain's rest.
Captain Morgan's Spice Rum, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Actually, ignore me.
Okay. Spins off to the other side of the bar.
Man, what is coming of hospitality these days? You have to have a word to Puck.
I don't think his friends have too much power over places like this.
Touche.
See anyone who looks interesting?
Yeah, big fella in the corner.
As you're looking at him,
onto it.
You hear as a plate slides across the bar to you, and you see it's like got some like dip in the middle and some nacho style chips around the outside. As you look across the bar, and a drow is on the other side, with kind of a thin white ponytail, leather kind of breastplate, but exposed arms, like it's like a singlet kind of thing. As looks over to you, it's got that dark purple skin with the dark black eyes, and just gives a grin of like pearly white teeth. You looking for a captain?
How kind of you to overhear our conversation. Oh yeah.
I was just a drow like a commonplace thing, or is this Faerun rules? Like it's weird to see a drow outside of the Underdark, or
give me a history check.
Yeah, sure thing. Is there an Underdark? Oh, fucking another 6. So an 8.
Look, you personally have not run into them before, and you think about it, and they're not common, but you haven't traveled the world.
Yeah.
Wasn't Torvash a drow? Or am I remembering wrong? He was just an elf.
I believe Professor Tavash is a human.
Ah, my bad.
But how many people from Yugoslavia have you met?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know,
No,
That's true.
Well, yeah. Purely a side note. Anyway, continue as you were, Ghost.
How nice of you to overhear our conversation.
well, if you're speaking as loud and obnoxiously as you were, then I can't help it. He slides to the next stool and now is like next to you two.
Take a handful and start munching.
Yep. They're spicy, but they're good.
I like.
All right. Well, suppose you're a captain then.
Well, I'm not about titles and such, but I've got a ship, and it can fly.
Great. Sounds like the minimum requirements.
Where are you headed?
East.
There's a lot east, I'll tell you that. Some say if you keep going, you'll end up back where you started.
I've heard this too, but there's a certain wall that we might hit if we go east, and we wouldn't ask you to take us further than that.
You wouldn't ask, or you don't want to ask?
No,
Well.
that's a more ambiguous question.
Well, it depends how much it means to you. Depends how much you can help me.
Hey, like that we're already speaking the same language.
Of course. Grab some chips.
All right, then. Let's say, hypothetically, we were able to help each other out. You know what we want, passage on a ship. What kind of services would we need to provide for you?
Oh. Just helping an elf expand his collection of fine arts.
Fine art, you say?
Of course.
I've never
I'm
really
a man of
had
taste.
Well, you must have enough for the both of us. What kind of art are we talking about?
And whose is it?
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. I would say that it is mine and my people's by right. But the city likes to showcase it. Have you heard of the Galifar Museum?
Yes.
Only from the
It's
brochure.
just down the road.
Nice and close.
We have.
And,
What is it you're after?
An object. An idol. Something my people have worshipped for a long time. Easy exchange. You get it for me, I'll get you out of the city.
Well,
You go.
Sorry.
No, you go for it. Okay.
You see him just put his head in his hands. Like...
we something like that is certainly an odd request for two strangers who have barely sat down at a bar. Might I ask to see this ship?
Of course. You head outside, and he kind of like gives you directions of like, it's the last one on the port of port side of this dock. Inconspicuous. Nothing too fancy. But boy, can she run.
Can I get an insight check on that? I'm trying to figure out if A,
he has one.
He indeed owns a ship.
Yep.
And B, whether it sounds whether I am convinced that he believes it's airworthy.
Okay. Yeah, give me the insight roll.
Actual one.
You look in his eyes,
Oh.
and he looks straight back at you, and you cannot get a read on him. You're almost like you're convinced that you're not convinced, but he's convincing you, and you're just like, I don't know what to believe in.
Yeah, it's when you get in your own head of fuck it. We are
and as you were.
We're not thieves by trade. I hope you know this.
As long as you can get it, I don't care.
And let's say we are successful. We need to go east. Fast and inconspicuously. Are you sure you'd be willing to travel that far?
You get me this item, which he will describe to you. I'll take you wherever you want.
That sounds like a bloody good deal. Where would we find you?
Right here.
Good to know. Good to know.
You'll be here for the next few days?
I'll be here for the next few days. But let me tell you this. My aid starts when we get on the ship.
Understood.
He more means like he's not going to help you do this.
Yeah. He doesn't want to. His whole point is his hands can't be on this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roger that. All right. Well, all we have to do is break into the British Museum and.
You mean break into the
Brellish Museum?
Yeah.
Steal the Mona Lisa.
I'm getting more the impression of British Museum and stealing the Rosetta Stone or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's
something that another country has full rights to.
Yeah. Fine offer. If we, I guess if we come back in a hurry, you'll know we've taken you up on it.
Don't draw too much attention to yourselves. Well,
have you seen me?
I'll be ready to go.
3.5 feet at best.
I'll be ready to go when you are. And he slides back a stool away from you and pulls his chips back towards him.
Take one as it goes.
Yeah.
I take a beat back over to the Walkish gentleman to see if he's noticed this conversation at all.
Give me an insight check.
Absolutely.
Do better than me.
I couldn't cock that any worse. No, that's a worse roll. Hello. Insight is not great. 11.
11's enough to know that he's kind of keeping an eye on you. Like, you're two people that have walked in. You're obviously not regulars. And he's still, like, drinking his coffee and looking over at the bar as you're having this conversation. He doesn't seem really to react. He just kind of looks at you, looks away.
Cool. Well, might as well check out the competition, right? I'll sort of. I'll walk on over to. Sorry, I'm really checking out. I'll walk on over to his table.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just as you do, I'll say, see what he has to say, and I'll check out this ship, and I'll try and have a look at, go to the port that he said, and see if I can probably not go right up to it and like pull on ropes and stuff, but like I'll have a look at it and see. Yeah,
give me an Arcana check, just to do the
Sure
overall
thing.
and then we'll come back to you, Ghost.
Yep, I can add a D4 to this one, so hopefully that's good. That's better. 9 plus Arcana, which I think I'm proficient in. I am, so 9 plus 5 plus 2. So 16 total.
16. You go like around the corner a little bit, and you do see that there's a ship at the end of the dock. And it doesn't look huge. What?
Oh no.
What are you knowing at? I wonder if he's lost us. Have you lost us? I feel like he has. Okay, Ghost. You waddle up to this orc that's sitting there. And he looks down at you and goes, morning. You're muted.
Morning, sir.
What brings you and... Oh, go on.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice you seem like a particularly onto it gentleman for this time of the morning, and perhaps wondering if you captain one of the fine sky vessels out in the port.
I do indeed. The name's Sarod.
Sarod. Ghost.
It's a pleasure. He gestures to a seat next to him.
Thank you.
You got to keep your wits about you in this place. Don't want a clouded mind, whether you're in a city or in the skies. Doesn't help anyone.
Very wise. But if I had gold for every time I was told to keep my wits about me, I'd be a rich man by now. See, you have more experience in the air than I can claim to have myself. You don't happen to know if there's a skyport in Dargoon?
There is. Rukan Dral, Goblin Metropolis. Wouldn't want to stay in that city for too long, but it's a spot where you can get your feet about you, catch your wits, and carry on. Depends what you're after, though.
Well, thankfully we've got a companion, not here currently, but it's from those areas. He knows how to look after himself. But on the chance that a group of 5 were looking for transport in that direction and had good coin to pay for it, what kind of means would a man have to give to a captain like yourself?
He sits back and gives a bit of a stretch and goes, it's been a while since I've traveled that way, but I could get you a trip to Rukan.
What sort of price?
It's not going to be cheap. You say 5 of
I
you?
didn't ask if it was. Indeed, sir. Good strong hands.
Oh, I'm not so much worried about that. It's keeping your wits about you once you get off there, or especially in those areas. My ship's large enough to fly quite safely to Rukan Dra. 5 passengers, call it 1,500 gold pieces.
Fine price. I don't suppose you have any personal hobbies or collections in which you'd be looking for a trade of discount? Fine dwarven tapestries, silk pillows.
I like the way you think. My ship is sturdy, it's big enough, it's safe enough. 1,500 gold pieces will get you to your destination, no questions asked.
If I say you're allowed to ask questions?
I have no interest in asking questions of you. I just want my pockets filled with gold. Is that so much to ask?
That's a fair call.
You can tell that he's like a bit of a no bullshit, like, he'll do this, but he wants gold. He doesn't want to get mixed up in anything else.
Like I said, it's just the two of us here, but if we were to come back later this evening with a positive answer, how long would it take you to be ready?
We can start organizing things now. Ready to fly on the next day.
Get off in the morning.
Maybe lunchtime.
Fair deal. All right. Let me grab lunch with my my companions, and we'll head back in this direction. If you don't hear from us, forget I even asked.
No skin off my back. He goes back to his coffee.
Cigarette, was it?
Sarod. Sarod.
Sarod. I'll drop the silver piece in front of him. Next coffee's on me.
Gives a nod. Slides it over. What was your role, Molokov?
I cut out at you go around the corner.
Oh, right. And you see a smaller ship that has definitely seen some weather, but it almost looks like that one guy that has an old Toyota Corolla, but has done so much to it that it's probably worth more than a brand new car now. But you don't know whether it would just within a day become useless.
Yeah. Roger that.
So it's got a few different bits and pieces on it. You can tell it's very customized and stuff. And I'll say as well, you aren't privy to the conversation that Ghost just had, but you do also notice that there is mostly 4s and 3s vessels, but there is like a 6 at the other end of port, and it looks just a bit nicer and a bit more clean and tidied up. But it doesn't look like a trading vessel. It looks like it's here on business, but it's not like a super rich vessel. But yeah, eventually you guys leave, and I assume you start heading to Wayfarer's Rest as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we would have gone to... I assume we would have decided on Puck's family home.
Sure. And then
Shit,
Jalou,
they just told us to go to the inns.
Yeah, Jalou, you're the only one left. How have you gone?
Yeah, I've been looking up the different potions, but basically, in terms of the cost, we could probably only get common or uncommon. So I found a bunch of I saw a bunch of them, but turns out there is only 3 common magic potions.
Yeah.
And the thing is, potion of climbing, potion of healing, like common basic healing, and a potion of watchful rest. There's only 3. So, but there's a decent. There's like there's a few more uncommon, but there's some of them that are like, like there's one called Filter of Love, which is literally a love potion that you can slip into someone's drink, and they'll fall in love with you for an hour. So that's pretty cool. It's like literally potion of date rape. It's kind of weird. So,
so my question is are you buying stuff pre-discussing with the party, or what I'll say is otherwise it's going to become like midday / early afternoon by the time everyone kind of gets back together at
I would be I imagine I'd find it, so I guess it depends what kind of deal I could get on them. Because I do have money.
Yep. So what do you
with flip them a Filter of Love?
Yeah. So what are you trying to buy?
Well, the instructions for me were go buy go find potions.
Yep.
That may well have been interpreted as go buy the potions. So I've come down with there are 12 uncommon, 12 of them, because it's like any of them might be cool. So I thought maybe I might just roll a couple of D12s and see what they were. So I don't know. As like I've sort of listed them down into like 12 of the uncommon, plus there's those 3 common. I don't know how many D12 rolls you would like me to make or something. I just thought, a bit of randomness is cool. There's one that I like, which is Potion of Fire Breath, but like a bit of randomness.
Fun. Sure. So give me 4 D12 rolls.
All right, 5. I've got the list, so I'm calling them out. So maybe you remember: a 5, a 9, another 5, and a 2. So that'll be potion of advantage, 2 greater healings, and potion of polychromy. Would be those are the 4 in terms of the uncommon, and I imagine it's possible to get the common ones easily enough.
Common ones are easy enough, and then throw the fire breath one in there as well. So those are your choices, which you can buy as many as you want of those ones.
Yes, at that price.
Yes,
what was it?
So they
250.
are 250.
All right. Is it? Julie's going to try and negotiate a little bit.
Yep. Give me a charisma check.
Yes. All right. Just straight charisma. Ooh. Hang on. What do I add? Do I add something? It's not a saving throw. It's just
just a check.
+1. All right. 17.
17. So I would say that. Go on.
Oh, you go. Because I was going to say I had that advantage from the previous one. I'm going to try it as well just to see if I can get a slightly higher roll. It's probably going to end up worse. Yeah, it was. So 17.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know.
So you can buy them at 220 gold pieces.
Okay, cool. I think.
Actually, you know what? Let's go for the cheap one. So 175. So you're knocking 175
each.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I will. Let me work out how much money I have and which ones I could get from that.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I will come back into the watchful rest with some potions. But I guess on the way, I'm going to go. I will be going past the lightning round.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think as you come, work out which potions you're buying first, and then
you'll come back to me then. Yep. Sweet.
So Puck and Hera, you arrive at the Golden White, and you do see the House Galander symbol on the side of it there. And as you walk in, there's a halfling behind the counter. Looks up and goes, welcome. I'll be with you in just a second. Just sorting out something in the kitchen. And goes out and kind of a look around the place, and it looks pretty comfortable. It's got like modest tables and a couple of curtains around the windows and some pieces of art on the wall, but there's nothing too fancy. It's nicely carpeted and all that stuff. It feels cozy. But the halfling eventually comes back up to the counter and, my apologies. Welcome to the Gold and White. How may I be of assistance?
We were on the trains, and we were given these. I'll hand over my little token.
Ah, interesting.
My little token. Sorry.
You were handed these by, I'm assuming, the Inquisitor?
Yes.
Ah, well. You're welcome to use them. I will just need to take down a few details first. You just wait 1 second. Pulls out a book, flicks to a page, and goes, I do apologize for the disruption that has happened. I heard this morning the train, ghastly attack was by a dragon, they say, on the way here. Well, I do hope you're not too shaken, and here at the Golden White, we will be willing to offer you a free room on behalf of Lord Baronello. Can I please take down your names?
Fuck. I'm going to flick around my little signet ring as well. Not that it is going to matter too much, but I just want him to know that I'm part of their house.
I do apologize. I didn't know.
It's quite all right.
Sorry. You must understand that they need to keep track of who uses these tokens of appreciation in the city.
That's fine.
Of course. And your companion here?
This is Hera, but there'll be a few more coming. Ghost, Jalug, and Molokov.
Understood. And he takes down their names and goes, Dude, would you be able to describe them so I can treat them with the utmost respect when they arrive?
Yeah, I'll do that, I guess.
Writes them all down. Well, you know your way around, but please sing out if you need anything. I will supply you 5 rooms on the top floor. It's only a 3-story tall building, but
still nice.
They're all yours. And again, I'll make sure the sheets are fresh, the windows are open, and fresh air is in there as well. And you kind of list off the hospitality that you're very used to these establishments providing.
Thank you. It's been a difficult day.
He looks at the like clock on the wall, and it's like 1 p.m.
I stand by that. It has been a difficult. Hello, bless you. Difficult and frustrating day. Is this just an inn, or does it have like a tavern attached?
He
said there was a kitchen.
You can kind of like those. I'm trying to think of like small town hotels that have like a little restaurant area, but it's just a couple of tables set up kind of in another room opposite the lobby. It's kind of like that. Like it's not a full tavern, bar, kitchen kind of thing. It's just like if you'd like to eat here, they'll serve you something up.
Yeah, sure. Well, maybe we'll go wait in the eating area.
Eventually,
drop off our bags or something. But I think Puck's going to hang on to that briefcase. He's not really letting it out of his sight at the moment.
They take those with all respect and take them to your rooms and so on and so forth. Molokov and Ghost, you enter into this establishment, and this halfling comes almost running up to you at the door and goes, Mr. Ghost and Mr. Molokov, welcome to the Golden White. Your stay is honoured by the city's apology of your disastrous night on the train. And we do hope that we can take care of everything. Please sing out if you need anything.
Well,
I see Puck beat us here.
That's the first time that's happened.
Yes. I can organise someone to take your bags to your rooms. You have 5 on the top floor. And they are currently in the dining hall, just next door.
I think we can handle our own bags. Thank you.
Of course. I didn't mean no disrespect.
Oh, sorry. What are we saying, Ghost?
He's bagless.
Yeah.
So you walk through and you find the other two sitting there. And I guess before the party starts discussing, Jalug, you finish putting the couple of potions into your bag?
Yeah, I'm going to buy Potion of Advantage, Potion of Fire Breath, 1 Greater Healing rather than 2, and a Potion of Polychromy, because I might as well buy all the ones that were available, because that's what we're told. And I'll probably buy just... I'm going to roll a d3. I'm liking this randomness, so 1 Potion of Watchful Rest, which is just a common item as well. So, so yeah, I think that's going to be, and the common item, that was 50 for that one. Yep. All right, so I'll take 750 off. Sweet. So I've got those, and yeah, on my way up, I will swing. I'll scope out the station, see if there's like what it's looking like at the moment, and then try and find one of those guys.
You get back to the station, and it is becoming chaotic. There are crowds of people on the station floor now, and everyone is starting to get a bit angsty and, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And you can see that the City Watch are trying to calm everyone down, and you feel a little tug on your cape as you look beside you, and one of the Heron next to you and goes, Sir, you've returned.
Yes, I raise my eyebrow with the ring in it, so it looks cool. And any trains going off yet? Anyone come visit?
Bit of both, to be honest, sir. It looks like they've closed the station railway until they can get this battered cart off the rails up for repairs, but no trains are departing from Wroat, at least for the time being, causing a lot of distress.
Must make for a convenient situation for you and your friends.
Oh, it's not all about me, sir. It's not all about me, but you can tell that he's got a bit of a grin on his face. The ones you described, they arrived not too long ago.
A train came in?
Last train from Shan would have been the morning one that's now arrived in the afternoon.
Yeah, because we took the overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They looked in a hurry, your friends. Headed straight for the Citadel. Didn't follow them any further. Don't want our arms cut off.
That's fair enough. You did good. I'll be back a little bit later on. Where are your friends? Is this the one that I was dealing with, or a different one?
Yeah, it's the one you're dealing with. Doing their job, sir.
Good. I'll discreetly hand him the other 4.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a 15. No,
15. You see him
you
see him like open up a little pocket on his side and pocket the rest of the money to the exact amount you had given him in the morning. Like he has not distributed any of this gold, and closes his pocket. Well, we'll be seeing you soon then, sir.
Yeah, pretty soon. Just a word of advice. Sometimes it's worth the cost of having allies. I've found that out recently. Treat your friends well.
Gives you kind of like a quizzical look, and you can see that it does weigh a little bit in his ears, and it kind of almost flops down a little bit, and then stands back up and goes, be seeing you soon, sir, and kind of hops off into the crowd, and you quickly lose where he went.
Mm-hmm.
But then you eventually make your way back up to wait for his rest, and the Golden White, where you are greeted by a little halfling that, Mr. Jalug, sir, welcome to the Golden White. Your bags will be taken up to the... He gives the whole speech again.
Yeah, Jalug's very taken. This is not the reception, but he's like, oh, yeah, well, in his mind, he's like, yeah, this is I am hanging out with very important people as far as Yulug is concerned. So, like people that are movers and shakers in the world, they get invited into like professors' dormitory, like professors' offices, and they get to go to gala balls and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, of course, that's what I do. Yeah.
And then he says that you will find them all in the restaurant just next door. As you kind of walk through the door, and all four of you see Jalug appearing. So yes, now you're all back together.
I had one thing. This is to the party. Was there anything I was trying? Was there anything I was trying to sell? Like like not so much like magic items, just adventuring gear that I was trying to sell.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, and I guess I would have bought like some more rations and stuff like that. So I think they're pretty cheap. I'll just take that off too. Yeah. Cool. Job's done, guys. Put the potions down. By this point, other than the fire breath, which is the one I was super excited about, I've mixed them up, and I can't remember which one's which, and so I just put them down, like because I just put them all in, and I'm like, oh, here's this. Oh, this one's hang on, was that one? But yeah, so I'll definitely keep the fire breath, but there is a potion of advantage, potion of greater healing, a potion of polychromy, and a potion of watchful rest. So, greater healing, we know. Polychromy, basically, you can. It's not quite disguise self, but you can change your color and the color of all your equipment for like an hour, effectively at will. So you can like, oh, I want to look red, I want to look this. But the real thing is you can make it the color of your surroundings, and it will adapt to your surroundings as you go. So it's effectively like a chameleon cloak, which gives you advantage on stealth.
Nice.
Watchful rest pretty much means you can take a long rest, but be awake. So you could like stay up all night as on duty, and you still get the long rest, but you don't have to sleep. And potion of advantage, I think you get one. Potion advantage means that you get a advantage on one of an ability check, an attack, or ability check, attack, or a saving throw. One of those within an hour after drinking it.
Man, that's an expensive potion, but good.
I think in the end it cost me like 750 to get all of them, so that's not too bad. But yes, I need to take that off of my money. Because that was definitely how in the everyone's going this way. That's how Jalug interpreted. He's like, "Oh, I've got to go buying stuff."
Yeah. Yep. So you explain what each of these does, put it out on the table.
Not remembering which one is which.
Yeah.
So you guys will have to work it out. So.
Good haul.
Right. This one's clearly healing. I've seen potions of watchful rest before, therefore that's the polychromy. Who wants it?
I've got a potion of watchful rest already, so I don't need that. Polychromy doesn't really help me. I am advantage on stealth basically as it is. I don't really need any.
Yeah, I'm also. Well, I'm cancelled out on stealth at the moment, so.
You're not a bad candidate to take it, you or Jalug, for stealth.
Yeah. We both suck at it, so.
For me, it wouldn't do anything because I'm already on cancel.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because you've got advantage and disadvantage, it doesn't matter getting another advantage.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yep.
All right, so maybe I'll take it then.
Cool.
And then who doesn't have a potion of greater healing?
I've got
two
for me, so
I've got a few healing potions on me already, so I'm okay. Hera often goes down.
Looks like he's reading.
Yeah, I think that's yours.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I was muted. I was just checking my inventory. I've got a regular potion of healing, and I've got a superior potion of healing. But I mean, you can never have too many healing potions.
I have 3 regular. I can give you. Do you want one of those as well? Or does someone else want it?
Yeah.
I've got 3 regular potions of healing.
I've got 2 greater. That's good for me at the moment.
Yeah, I have 1 regular, 1 greater, so I'm sussed. As long as they're evenly distributed, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I've got.
Should
I've
you
got
maybe
2 greater and 1 regular. So
Yeah, I got 3 regular, 1 superior.
God, you got a superior as well. When did we get these awesome potions?
I don't know, but I have collected a lot of potions over time and hadn't been using them.
They've just been using our own spell slots.
I've got a potion of mind reading that I've never used, apparently.
That's sick.
I think I've still got a potion of lightning resistance. I've got a couple of weird little potions.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you can always use them.
I've got a potion of lightning resistance and a potion of poison resistance.
I have 2 of those, apparently.
Yeah, I've also got a potion of poison resistance.
why did you guys send me to go buy potions? We already
2
had
potions
all
of climbing. Because we collect, Jono, we collect them and we don't use them. It's like a video game. You get all these great items. You're like, I can't use it. I might need it.
until the big boss fight, and then we just spend the first 2 rounds just drinking, and then just like demolish everything.
Yeah, you scum save right before you go through the door. Drink all your potions, walk through, and it's over in like 20 seconds because you're like, oh, I've got every advantage in the world here. This guy can't hurt me. I'm invulnerable for 2 minutes.
Imagine if the potions you rolled was like potion of poison resistance, potion of lightning resistance.
Yeah. And Julian's like, guys, look what I got. And everyone's like, what the fuck? We told you we had.
That would be perfect, though.
Yeah.
That would be because we wouldn't have been like, oh, I've got all these potions. You'd be like, go get some potions. You're like, yeah, I got potions. I did what I was asked to do.
Yeah.
I've apparently also got a potion of insight to give me advantage on insight for 24 hours.
That's cool.
There you go. Who's sharing the news?
We went and found the citadel. The citadel over there has the. Everything in my house is noisy this morning. We found we found the citadel, but the wizard is away. If we really wanted, we could go and help him with what he's doing and see if that'll get us a discount. But it's going to cost a pretty penny to teleport out of here. I think that, and it'll take a couple of days. I think that option is not great. What did anyone else find out?
Well,
just on that,
we have
Puck as well. It will be a couple of days before he returns by himself.
Yeah, I think us helping him is to speed up the process.
Yes, but it'll take us a day for the travel there and back as well, plus whatever it takes. So it still might end up being a day or 2. But yeah, I'll share that.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 options on our side. Both potentially able to leave in the morning. One will cost a pretty penny also, and the other sort of lowers his voice a little bit. Will require a bit of a grand larceny, as these sort of dodgy deals sometimes do. But both have ships that could potentially get us there. One seems very confident.
Yeah, Grand Larceny seems to think that they're able to go wherever we please on their vessel.
Don't you think we have enough enemies at the moment? Not keen.
I fully agree.
Yeah, I never said it was a good option.
Yeah.
It's out there now.
On the table.
Yeah. On the deck, as it might be.
Deck.
And
look. I have to. Yeah, the other one was going to cost, what was it, 1,500? Which I don't think we have.
We might have before we went shopping, but I don't know, guys. I feel like
Luke is getting like so much shit for just doing what he got asked to do. Like,
no, I'm not mad. Yeah. That genuinely wasn't telling him off.
We've got so many potions. What, you mean you spent gold?
Yeah, and
Puck isn't mad. He's not mad. He's not having to go. He's more just being like, yeah, that option is also kind of a little bit off the table at the moment. I think.
Yeah, so Jaluk Jalug by this point when they're talking, I did this and this, and people weren't as appreciative of, like, they were like, oh yeah, oh cool, good job, but he thought he'd come back and they were like, man, you got that, oh, so good, awesome. So he's sort of like just sitting off the side, like just
Sulking.
eating some bread. He's not quite sulking, but he's moved a little bit away, just like, oh fuck. And so, as a result of that, you guys are talking about all this, and then maybe when someone mentions the Citadel again, or like someone goes, oh, well, like, or someone at some point mentions the train or the Citadel, he'd be like,
was just about it.
Yeah, Joey will just be like, he'd be like, oh yeah. Joe Su came in today, apparently this morning. And everyone go, what?
How did you find this out?
Well, I recruited some locals and some of the little urchins and got them to look out for me. And apparently, the train came in, and so Reese did. Who was on it? The description was like Josu and Shapiro and.
Yep. They said your friends have arrived.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I guess I might have asked a little bit to them, but like, so did it sound like there were Oryx with them, or just those two, or?
No, it sounded like it was no Oryx, but he said he would have described Josu, Shapiro, Onus, and Laurie. So
Cool.
Josu, 2 elves, and a halfling.
Yep, great. Because I don't think I've met Laurie, so I don't. No, because on the roof of where we were sleeping, I think Puck dealt with Laurie before I got up there. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be like, but I know what Shapiro and I know what they look like, and I say, oh yeah, and they another halfling. They came in and apparently made a beeline for the Citadel, and none of the trains are getting out. You did well getting us in, Ghost, because it seems like that train's beat up bad. So I don't know. Does that change anything? Do we need to get out quickly, or?
I think it changes everything.
I think that it changes everything as well. I think we have to make a call now. Really, do we rest or do we just bounce basically now?
If we were...
That sounds like we should go find a mage. Or maybe that's who they're looking for too.
I was thinking more of just that conch shell.
I think I agree. I think the shell is
looking more attractive.
I don't like any of these options. If I'm being honest. As you say. Yeah, sorry.
If one of the options is to perform some sort of heist,
as you say heist, the halfling's like putting down your soup. It's just like,
thank you.
Like looks everywhere around.
Would it not be by association just an option to heist a ship? Would that not be easier than stealing from a fucking museum?
We don't have the money.
We also don't know how to fly a ship, if we're being honest.
I look at Ghost. You had lessons?
I have 2 days of experience at best. Come on.
That's 2 days more
Remember
than
what happened the last time I tried fucking with a ship's engine?
Yeah, I do.
We crashed. No, but that's not good.
You're saying we need allies, and stealing from museums probably not helping, but if we need to get out of the city, we could go find this wizard and, at least it gets us out of the city while Jurassico's in here.
Yes, it gets us out, but when we get back in, they're going to take us straight to the Citadel, right?
Yes, and we still have to pay.
And if they're still... Exactly.
And we don't even know how much it costs.
A lot.
I can't imagine it'll be particularly cheap. The
Assuming
guards
we
seem to
saved-
say it hadn't been used for a while either. It's not a super common thing. There'll be commotion about it.
Assuming we save this mage a whole lot of pain, trouble, and use of his own resources, he might be thankful enough to just take what we've got.
Maybe.
On that, what do we got exactly? What are we working with here?
Likewise.
Yeah, like
6 silver.
how much?
750
fundage
gold.
do we get?
We got
350.
70 gold from me. So
We got
Sorry,
like
60
1,000.
silver. I have 6 gold.
no, we're talking about 500, I think.
Well, I've
How
got
much did you say
750.
you had, Puck?
750.
Oh, you got 750. Sorry.
And did Jalug has 300 left?
I
you
got
said?
350.
Yeah, so we got
still.
we got a little bit over 1,000.
Just over 1,000 gold collectively. Okay.
1,200 odd. Okay.
How much of those ashes have you got left?
That's a good point.
And a blue dragon shard.
I have
Screw it.
something
Hey,
that maybe of.
You gave me how much? You gave me
I gave you
15.
Yeah, I believe you sold them
Uh,
all, didn't you? Or you said you sold half?
I gave you 1,500 gold worth. I'm not sure how much you sold.
I think I only spent 500 or 600 gold worth for the whole deck.
Yeah, so you've got
That
1,000 left.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that
so
makes
we
sense
have
because I have written here 1,000 gold in brackets, and I was wondering if that was the price
Yes.
left.
that must be the
Yeah.
dust, the gold
Okay.
dust left. Yeah. So we
So
have
you got about 2k.
2,000 gold. Oh, we should have bought way more potions.
Julie just like puts them in.
I thought you were going to
Just
say he was just going to pull out like 30 common healing potions.
Look,
Okay,
it's
well
not
that's
like. How's this for a plan? I think it's safe to say there's a few
Bye,
of
Jade.
us who would like it. Bye, Jade. Bye, Jade.
Happy birthday, Ian!
Oh, thank you.
Happy belated and all.
Yeah, that's all right. That'll do.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. We're just trying to figure out where we're going, what we're doing. Oh,
How's it-
and I'm sure Dale would have told you, but we're coming back at the end of the year.
you told me an hour ago. When would I have told her?
No, I'm saying I'm sure you will tell her.
What?
Ian's coming back at the end of the year.
When?
End of the year.
End of the year.
Yeah,
December.
be specific. My goodness. Yeah, that's exciting news.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, Jade.
Right. All right. Out of character. Plan that Molokov would propose is rest tonight. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that we're provided names here, but at least we are in a place that is on our side to a certain extent. I think we rest here tonight. Someone takes the very useful potion of watchful rest, and someone stays up and I think stays in the common area for the evening.
Oh, is that the potion
for the
you
night.
already had?
We have 2 of them now, so 2 people can do it.
That is quite useful still. That's not a bad thing.
I seriously was just I'm just going to roll a random thing. I thought for sure it was going to end up being like climbing, and Puck's going to be like, I can literally just climb anything.
Yeah, and I've got 2 climbing potions already.
Yeah.
I also have one of those.
It hasn't come up very often, okay?
This is so good.
Yeah.
I
used to have 3. I've
fantastic.
used 2 of them.
I
Next
think
time we do a
that's
shopping
totally
thing, I'll
fair.
go shopping. I'll come back with like, hey, I got like 2 deck of many things and like a wondrous like Vorpal sword and stuff. And I was like, dude, we've already got like 3 of those things. Like, why did you bother? I'm like, I got these like insanely rare legendary items and you don't care.
I had this picture of like Jalou going to the shops and he's got a grocery list, but it just says like potions, and he's in the potion store just looking at this wall being like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
It's like when you're
asking the
told to go and buy tampons or something or pads and you just like,
I've
it says like
definitely
it
gone to the
says
supermarket.
it says
with a list
butter.
that just says ingredients for risotto, and
Yeah.
Fuck, what do I put in a risotto?
It says butter, and then you get home and they're like, "That's margarine." And you're like, "That's the same. That's the same thing, isn't it?"
yeah, no, that's
Ask
a good
the guy
idea.
behind the counter. What do adventurers normally buy here?
Yeah.
What do you mean adventure? Oh, just people who are like on a quest. What do they normally buy?
Probably watchful rest, healing potion. Climbing is definitely out of the question.
Okay,
right, so you
so
still have this afternoon as well. Remember.
I mean,
Yeah, what are the chances
in a lot of ways,
your house connections here will be able to give us fair warning if Jorosco members walk in the front door?
I would say that very likely, but my brother apparently is here, who is as good at sneaking around as me, or almost as good at sneaking around as me.
That's very true.
We could start a long rest now.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, do we just want to go hold up upstairs, let the guy who owns this place know, hey, if anyone asks, we're not in, like we're out about in town or something like that at the moment. We go rest upstairs in the room together, in a room together, and if someone rocks up, we just blow the horn and bamf out in that instant, unrested. But what else are we going to do? That's kind of my thought on it.
But then
there's not really any advantage to us spending days trying to do anything. We're going to be best served getting there as soon as we can. Getting there before Cali was something I hadn't really thought we were going to be able to do, but if we do this now, we will, and that might help us. But all of the other options
any
are
other
going to take...
option. Yeah, any other option, we're going to be a day or two at least late.
Exactly. And out of the other options, the only one that really feels probably practical in what we've talked about is the guy who's willing to fly us there for a lot of money, or fly us, very close for a lot of money. Because all the other stuff is going to take us significant number of days. Even if we are able to go help this guy, and we do that in an hour, that's a day and a little bit. Plus then getting to Galanda, plus then organizing what we're doing in Galanda, plus then traveling, plus then walking. Like it's going to be best part of a week.
And like every part of that requires so much travel, even if it's in the air, it's travel through the Moorlands. Like that's not an easy, like no matter which way we come at it, that's still, even just minimum as the crow flies travel, like a day's travel, and
so what I would say as the GM is that you would then be because you've got choices, and obviously they've got different approaches. If you blow the horn, you get there instantaneously with no more information than you have right now. Now, yes, the other options do take a couple more days, but that would also... You're in a city at the moment, so you can restock, you can research, you can talk to people, and so on and so forth. Same with going to Galanda, same with, like you said, go to the goblin town on the edge. You could probably get some mercenary help and stuff like that. Like, those are what the time gives you. Which obviously, it's a complete choice of yours. That horn will get you into making, that, and that's as much as you know.
What other information do we think we'd even be able to get, though? Because all we know is that they're doing something, and they're a secretive group, secretive organization that's trying to bring back another continent. We don't know by which means. And are we going to be able to find that out? Maybe, but I feel like that's another thing that's going to take a long time.
Because you could also find that out by being there and being like, oh, there's obviously a big red switch. They're going to have to try and push that or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. In a lot of ways, if we get there and it's not, and it's fairly deserted kind of thing, we've got time to look around and try and work out what's going on. Puck wanted to go to Gatherhold. That was his. Sorry?
I was just going to say, and then worst case, we bamf in and we're in the thick of it. There's we're on the main stage of a sacrificial pit or some shit.
I guess for me, I more want to understand. Expectation is the wrong word, but what as players are you expecting if you blow this horn? You realize you're going to end up there 2 seconds later than where you are currently now. So. It's kind of anything could happen.
It's going to be immediately bad. Is my expectation.
I don't necessarily think it's going to be immediately bad, but I do think we're going to be falling into the deep end, which is why we want to go in rested and ready. We might not appear and be in combat. We might appear, you're inside their base, but you're in a hidden room somewhere, and you can sneak around and try and work things out for a day, for a few hours. But I do think we're going to go into something that is dangerous, which is why we want to go in rested. I wanted to go to Galanda, but I think that the time that would take, that was ideally if we can just go, hey, here's 1,000 gold, take us, send us to Galanda now, bang, done, we're out, and then we've got all that extra time to plan and make our journey. That's great. But as it stands, I think that our best option is just to teleport in and be ready for anything and work it out. Because I'm not sure we're going to get much more information here, and I'm not sure we're going to really accomplish anything. We just want to get away from the people who are chasing us and get there as soon as possible.
Do we have any information about what the wizard is doing in the keep? Why he went there?
So what we heard is that he's
some creature, right?
He's dealing. He's half a day away by foot. And he's dealing with some creature at Griffin Claw or something like that. Is that right?
Glyphstone Keep.
Glyphstone Keep. He's dealing with some creature at Glyphstone Keep.
So we currently can't afford the airships. We're basically ruling out the idea of stealing something for the drow because we don't need more people on us.
Yeah.
And we can't afford the orc airship. So and the trains aren't running.
You can afford the airship.
I was going to say the airship was 1,500. So we can scrape together for that.
Okay,
but Dale found an extra 1,000.
Oh yeah. I would have bought so many more potions, man.
Yeah.
We can either we can either take the airship and get us somewhere, whether that's straight to the moorlands or to the goblin keep on the side or whatever, and so we can do that, or we could go to the wizard and help them and have a little fun adventure and whatever, get some more resources out of that, and then potentially that wizard will then be able to go, yeah, sweet, let's go in, let's do the teleport, and we could get that, knowing that at any point, either the airship or the wizard, at any point, if things are going south, we can just blow the horn.
Yeah,
is that a summary of where we're at?
I actually
be the last resort.
Yeah, the horn is very much a last resort. Thinking about it, actually like the idea of the wizard, because this guy is a mage, right? He's we're assuming, relatively put together as a human being. If we get to him first and go, hey, we're helping you, we're here to help, we require transport. However, there's some people that are after us that are posing as a sect of Jurassico, and they're bad people, and they're who we're trying to get away from. They're going to be trying to find you too. But if we help them first and get that off the board, then maybe that can kind of guarantee our safety a little bit to get teleported to.
Yeah,
where we can gain more information.
It puts you at Galanda though, not at Making.
Yeah, which is still days away.
Yes, correct. And then
And I'm
once
not
we
sure
gather
what-
more information, we can blow the horn and be in making in 2 seconds. Like, getting to making is not a problem.
Yeah, no.
We can
What
get to
information
making.
do you want to get though? Like, what are you wanting to do and how are you wanting to get it? Because I'm just not sure how we'd even do that. Like, how are we gonna learn something?
And I think, and again, at the end of the day,
would be nice.
going true, but
We
going
can get a map of
going through-
old Sire.
I'm just worried that no matter
Yeah.
what, the wizard's going to have to get into the Citadel, and that's obviously where Jarosco has gone.
My
Like, I
fear.
think
They went
there's-
straight there.
This is meta knowledge, so I don't know if my character knows this. Teleportation circle, you don't actually need to do it from another circle. You can do it from anywhere.
Right.
But I don't know if Puck knows that.
Yeah, you can
But it
just
might-
draw it around,
You can just
can't you?
draw a circle and go from
If you know- yeah.
wherever you. If you no, you have to know the destination one.
Destination.
And so if he knows it,
Teleports
then
you to the Citadel.
yeah.
Well, that,
so
that could be an option then, because that if we went to the wizard and help him, we're out of the city, which is kind of what we want, while Josu's here, and we could possibly bamf from there straight to Gatherhold, which is still not close. I mean, it's closer than we are.
it's massively closer. I guess
But-
my thought on all this, I still think that we should just blow the horn and get out of here now because I'm just really struggling. I mean, tell me in character, whatever. I'm really struggling to see what do we gain by waiting at this point when what information are we going to learn other than they're trying to do something and we probably need to stop it. Like, we're not going to be able to find.
Yeah.
I don't see how we'd be able to find the information of they're doing exactly this and this is what you need to stop it. We're going to find out. Oh, this was something about the old continent that existed and that might give us maybe some slight advantage rather than get there before anyone else gets there, have a chance to potentially blow up the big crystal machine they're using to warp things in before anyone's there to guard it kind of thing. Like that's where I'm sitting with it.
I think Molokov's definitely on the same page, like as he was before this all.
Yep.
Like, I think blowing the horn is probably first on the list, but I think a close second, now that we have the option, is I think it's not a terrible idea to just pay the 1,500 and get on an airship, because I think that'll put us at about the same speed of getting there as Kelly. And
That's very true.
the other point in that favor is we can. Oh no, that's right. He can't leave till morning.
He's not. I was going to say
He's not leaving till the morning, and he's not
tomorrow.
flying all the way in. He's just dropping us at the border,
yeah.
where she's
Yeah,
already
No,
going,
I was
and
going to
she's
say
going to
at
let
least.
in it.
I was going to say, at least we're out and we can log us on the ship and stuff. But no, you're right. We still have to wait till morning. So yeah, Molokov's votes with Puck.
Not
I
even
think
meta
Wrist and
knowledge
Horn.
about like the mechanics of the game, but like it's really obvious that Molokov got beat up bad, and that Hera is feeling a bit drained and tapped of resources. Puck and Jalug are fine. I think Ghost is pretty okay, but meta, it's really obvious that the Tabaxi are pretty tired at very least. But yeah, so if we bamf straight into making, as you said, but like with the horn, if we go straight into making, the issue is again, we might not drop into the middle of a fight or something, but presumably we're not going to be able to drop in and go, cool, sweet. Now, oh look, there's a nice bed. Let's sleep for 8 hours.
No,
And so us going there, yes, we can go and deal with issues. Yeah, we could try and rest now, or we could say, all right, well, why don't we just get out of the city now? I don't know. Personally, for me, I'm like, oh, I want to go do the wizard man because I'm like, oh, cool, little side quest. That'll be fun, an exciting adventure. But like in terms of the big picture of where everything's going, it could speed it up because once we help him out, he goes, sweet, I'll transport you to Galanda or Gatherhold, and then from there we can also bamf. But like, I don't know.
I think the plan was to, like, as in what Molokov and Puck are suggesting is, let's go upstairs and sleep. Let's tell them that we're not to be disturbed, and to tell anyone who comes looking for us that we are journeying around the city looking for things. Like, say, like, oh, they asked us about something in the Galifar Museum, and they can tell if Josu comes and asks where are these people, he can say, oh, they asked, I don't know, but they asked about something about the Galify Museum. Send them on that wild goose chase. We hopefully get our 8-hour rest. If someone comes to try and get us, we just blow the horn in that moment, and we go unrested if we have to. But the idea would be to sit and rest for 8 hours, and then bamf out of there, and we're still in making like 2 days or a day before Cali.
And so this would be at like midnight that we take off. You know, which
ironically, the second time you've done like a late night teleport.
Yeah, I personally think both Molokov and Ian think that that's the safest. Well, not the safest, but definitely I think it's our best option. Every other option puts us too far behind, I think.
Okay.
Both in resources and time.
All right. Well, for now, if you go and tell the host, which I did actually have his name somewhere.
Why are you looking that up? If
That's
we're taking the airship, do we need to go back and tell the guy, yes, we're doing it, so he actually gets it ready for tomorrow? Because he wasn't like, I'm leaving tomorrow anyway, so we have to go and tell him and presumably make a down payment or something.
The idea I got was we go back, we tell him so we can start sorting stuff out this evening and be ready to go by the morning.
Yeah.
Which again poses a whole bunch of risks, like he could get intercepted in that time. He could already be, all the captains could be watched at this point.
Yeah.
And
there's definitely risks with it. And obviously the risk of the horn is the complete unknown as well.
Yeah.
But cool. You go down. Basso was the host's name. And Puck, maybe you talk to him about, hey, we don't want to be disturbed. If anyone comes looking for us, please tell them that we're out and about in the city, so on and so forth. And he will agree, seeing your signet, that is exactly what he'll do.
I might get him to give a list of a couple of different locations of just some of the things that are around, that places we wanted to see, kind of idea of this and then this and then this. So if anyone's looking for us, they've got to travel around, eat up a lot of time.
Okay. All right, and then I guess we'll pick up during or after the long rest in the night.
I think
I've got one final trick up my sleeve for this as well. I assume we're all piling into one room down the end of the hallway type of thing.
Well, that's up to you guys. Is anyone staying up? Is anyone, this is...
I think at least one of us... Yeah, I think one of us should take the potion of watchful rest.
I think that I think Puck should probably do it because he's incredibly observant, and if anyone's sneaking in, it's his brother, and I think that I'll probably be the most likely to be able to spot that kind of I know what I'm looking for kind of idea.
Yeah, and you can get up on the roof and that sort of thing.
What was your idea?
I prepared something for today, expecting that we might be followed and try to rest at some point, so I can cast Alarm. Which will I have to pick. I assume the window to our own room is going to be watched, right, by yourself, Puck.
Yep.
We're looking out for that. So the end of the corridor, up the top of the stairs, I can set up I can't be bothered designing a fucking mental contraption for this right now, but set up an alarm so that I can choose which creatures do not set it off. So I will choose essentially all creatures except for Josu, Shapiro, Onus, Laurie, and Warforged.
Okay.
And I'll set it as a mental alarm, so it wakes me if I'm asleep and is silent to the user.
Okay.
Why not get one of those cool wind-up clockwork monkeys with a symbol that just clack, clack, clack as the alarm just...
But it clacks silently, and it just...
Yeah, in your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I like
All right.
that.
So, okay. Well, we'll pick up next time during this rest and see if it all goes ahead as planned.
Oh, wait.
Nice.